pretty good here. Peanut. Just going to play Ivern, no doubt.
The Shyvana. Zeka trolling a little bit.
We've seen Delight play it before in the
Yeah.
support role. I actually think it's way stronger than teams give credit for.
Yeah, it's very strong, especially if you have a bottom lane that did a pretty good job on that regardless. And we're ready. Let's hop into the Rift for game number 2.
That misses it.
Yeah. Generally, something you want to do. The issue for the Yone into the Corki is that...
Fleas is much smaller than it was in the last game. That's a good start, I suppose.
So far, it's still early in game number 2. I do like how Delight is playing a lot around Peanut. Wow, the 3-man knockup, but the miss on the ult forces the flash from Delight. But yes, Hex Flash, so he unlocks that. Henna, or rather Raptor, is going to go in on that one and do a bit of damage. But a lot of skirmishing here before these grubs.
I mean, this comp is so good in the early skirmishes. Imagine if Raptor had ult for that play as well. Could have been a very easy cleanup with a steal.
Yeah, and Peanut, oh, wow, Henna's gonna go in on that, and Peanut now in a really awkward spot. He's got Delight nearby, as Henna did flash in for that one. Peanut pushed away from the fight, though, and that means that Fearix, BNK here, they might be able to pick up this Dragon with all the pressure they put on.
They will commit.
Yeah. It's the one thing with, well, we're gonna have to hold that thought as Peanut comes over with Daisy. Remember, Clear does not have his flash, and there's really nowhere for him to go. He's so far down the lane. The knockup is going to miss from the Cassante. And Daisy's just a little bit too far out. Meanwhile, we got a fight down on the bottom side. Raptor is going to hit the minions with that one. So is still going to send this leap in onto Delight. And here comes a bunch of damage into him, but he's Poppy. And Mom is going to help out in the trade as well for Viper. Duro will taxi onto the minion, but so many low health bars here on the side of BNK. They will have to back away from this one.
Yeah, and they still don't get the Dragon. You know, could have just committed to that instead. As they see Peanut topside, and they're like, we're pulling the trigger down here. Viper and Delight are way too far up, but the Poppy is just so tanky. Viper gets a bunch of stacks off of the exchange as well, and Closer's in trouble.
Oh man, the big one gonna come in. The flash auto from Zeka is clean, and he picks up not a solo kill this time, but it's another mid-win for him.
Should have been. This time, Smolder doesn't have any kills, but he's feeling good about the game state.
Oh, that's a nice knock back on a Zeka, but there's just no follow-up. So, knockup from Daisy, and now Duro. He's not level 6. He's actually pretty squishy, and he doesn't have his flash. He's just free food for the side of Humble Life Esports, and they will take that happily.
Yeah. Fishing trip gone wrong. A big Smolder problem that I don't know if it's going to be solved soon.
Knock away from the Alistair. Now Henna is alone, and a bunch of damage is going to be put into him. He is going to eventually go down. He does use his barrier, but doesn't even bother to flash. As, again, it's just another kill onto the Poppy this time around. And it's more wins for Humble Life Esports. We got an all-out in the top lane, but Doran immediately is going to see Henna here. Dodges the missile, and now knockup's going to come down onto Henna. Kind of in an awkward spot himself with Delight there, but not going to continue following on that. So, bit of a skirmish there. We already saw what happened down in the bottom lane. Just more wins for Viper, who's just getting free farm and is 30 CS ahead of his opponent. Duro, though, is in the top lane, gonna flash in and, well, just kind of run around a little bit, as now Delight's in a lot of trouble, or rather, Delight is totally fine. As the ult comes in, and finally, the Closer will be able to take him down, but it's 2 kills to the side of Peanut. Make it 3, a triple kill for Ivern underneath the top turret. Meanwhile, Viper's just solo farming.
Yeah, he's just chilling. And this flash is still worth.
스몰더 그냥 행동으로 하죠.
let's just get Smolder big. I believe he said ice a lot. We're like, well, is this going to be the one that punishes? And the answer was no.
Like you said, you know, either you match the scaling or you put on more pressure, and they kind of did neither, right? Like, they're not going to scale as well with Kai'Sa. They're not going to put on pressure with this, and it just kind of sits there and doesn't do as well. Around with low HP, he wants to back, but he never got to. I mean, I guess he'll do some damage instead as the root comes down onto Closer underneath the turret in the Ivern brushes. So, yeah, it's the Ivern power spike.
Yes.
It's Redemption and Moonstone. And
can go for the
kill people for like 500.
You should get the Dawn Core this game, I feel like, with how this is going.
Yeah, I'm going to get a sleep here on the Delight, but remember that this is, yeah, he's got an Ivern nearby. The heal does come in, and Delight is finally maybe going to go down, but only after the trade onto closer, and Henna's just alone in a 1v2 against, well, actually a 1v3 as Daisy is also helping out. Doran finally gets his time to shine, and this is just going to be a clean ace to the side of HLE Esports, as easy as you'd like, unless Clear somehow, very nice dodge there actually, might be able to get away, and that he will. And yeah, even Daisy's getting in on the action. Will she die? Clear desperate, and will finally take her down.
Viper's got to be getting close on his stacks, by the way.
You gotta engage onto this.
You can't.
I mean, they need to get somebody in those brushes. They need to get some amount of vision, and they just don't have any. As the Baron is getting pretty low, they are thinking about a turn. Look at the damage that Viper's doing on the right side. Everybody on the side of BNK has to back away, and they just had the Baron leash the entire time. They take it down before 21 minutes into the game.
In an ideal world, those 3 kills would have been on other champions, and then they'd be even further ahead, but he's going to use the gold to get that 2-item spike, and they're going to take out this inner. Clear's in trouble.
Yeah, Clear's been doing a good job of not dying, but he's just going to collapse. All of that stress as Peanut just tanked 3 turret shots without realizing. Maybe just for fun, you know, this Peanut.
Keep those minions alive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's some validity to that, actually. You know, get in, tank it up, keep that wave alive. And they didn't quite do it this time, though, so kind of funny. Still going to hit the turret, and they still have enough damage. And Viper still hasn't died, so he's holding on to that Smolder perfect KDA in the LCK. Into HLE Esports, and HLE are just a better version of BNK, I feel like, in many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Doran going in.
Uh-oh. All right, Clear. It's going to be okay, and Doran is extremely tanky, and he's got shields as well. As Bomb going to help out a little bit with that. Actually, a lot of it, as in goes Viper, and he's looking for a bit more. He's got a gigantic shields with the barrier and the Ivern, and you're just not even going to chip away at his health bar at this point.
I mean, they could just basically end. I mean, they have this wave here, a cannon minion working on these Nexus turrets, Doran just keeping everyone at bay.
Yeah, they don't want to end because they want to have some fun and maybe get a penta for Viper. It's not going to happen as the first kill goes to Zeka. Probably the rest of them will go to Viper, though. No, it's a double kill for Zeka, actually, as he really wants to deny the Smolder from getting any more kills in this one. It is a battle between mid and AD carry to see who is the best of the AD carries. And this time around, I guess it's Zeka, but it doesn't really matter. The game is over. 24 minutes, and HLE Esports ends BNK. They put them out of their misery.
All right, let's keep our KDAs at least, you know? Stay out. Yeah, this one, in damage numbers, don't lie.
Yeah.
They're telling us the truth this time.
You can see the angle for the Lilia. It's like, hey, she did some damage. That matters.